Hey guys, so it's been 11 months since I've mentioned Scout in a video. It's been 11 months since I've done a tutorial. So, to mark the almost year anniversary, I'm gonna just guess what? Do another tutorial. So today I'm gonna be doing an in-depth analysis on all of Scout's weaponry so you can have the best possible chance of winning. Just a quick disclaimer, most of the Scout's weaponry are usable in some circumstances and there are masters of each kind of weapon. So if we do come to a conclusion in this video of what's the best one under a set of certain circumstances, it doesn't mean all of the other ones are irrelevant. It's just through statistics and testing, that's the one that came out on top. So let's get right into it. Looking at the stats here, not many people shy away from using the normal Scattergun. In fact, 2/3 of the entire player base use the normal Scattergun. But I'm here to change that and show you why that may or may not be the right decision. So, coming in at the second most used Scattergun, the Force of Nature, with a whopping 10% of players currently equipped it at this moment in time. And I can see why. In case you don't know, it has 2 bullets in the gun, but when you reload both of them, and it fires faster, and it has more bullets in the gun. So technically, it does a little bit more damage than the normal one if you hit all of the shots, and it blasts people. That's the greatest thing of all time. Overall, this could be used in practical situations, but it was a lot of fun to use, and I did perform close to my best. I'll have the scores up in the video, but yeah, it's a really good gun. Let's move on to the next one. So, the Soda Popper. Where did you go wrong? I honestly hate this gun now, and I thought it would be quite fun, but no, it's just frustrating because you don't keep the hype when you die, and you're going to be very vulnerable if you can't fucking kill anyone because it's a shit gun. Maybe it's just because I'm a bad player with that gun, but if it still had the old hype feature where it give crits instead of the jumps, it would actually be a very viable gun, but no, it's just complete shit now. You can't even kill like a heavy in all of its clip, which all the Scatterguns can do with a full clip, but I don't know, it's weird. You can like it if you want, but I'm gonna score it pretty low because it is bad. So moving on to the shortstop, it is basically the complete opposite to the Force of Nature. It has a very tight spread, so if you hit, chances are you're going to hit all of the bullets and it's going to go right into the skull. And for 4 clip that reloads instantly, that's pretty good. But if you do find you are missing your shots, it does take a while to reload, especially since you're reloading the entire clip. It does reload it all faster, but in the actual game it doesn't really play out how the stats look and how the stats meant to impress it. Again, this could be like an aiming thing. I could be really bad at this sort of gun, but I didn't play that well. So these aren't really good tests because I only played like 1 game of each, but it does give a good feel for the guns and it does show like a learning curve that you might have to go through. And to top it all off, why have they implemented this? Why? Why? Anyway, moving on to the next gun, and that's the Babyface's Blaster. And I kind of like it. It does have a normal stock Scattergun reloading, but of course it has 2 less clip. And when you hit people, you get faster. And I do think it's a nerf for no reason, because when you do get hit by like the smallest of bullets, all of your boost goes back to normal. So it could be good for flanking, but if you do get shot and caught out, you're going to be just at a plain disadvantage. From all the tests I gathered, all the damage and stuff, it's exactly the same as the normal Scattergun. So if you want something like that, maybe go with like Criticola so you can get the speed boost, but I don't know, it's probably not the best one. And now the final Scattergun, the Backscatter. I'm honestly surprised how much fun and how well I played with this gun. Again, it could be all down to playstyle, but I'm so surprised at this gun. So the stats it gives currently is -2 clip, but you can do up to 1.5 times damage if you land a mini crit, which is effectively a backstab. I did try it on like different angles of the body, but you can't. It doesn't register the same as a backstab, so you actually have to be facing the back, but for a flanker class, it fits the scout really well. This gun could be considered more of a defensive weapon, so I did play it on attack and offense, and I played just as good on both. In fact, I had even more fun defending because you could get more mini crits and stuff. Maybe you could get the same kills with the normal scattergun, but the back scatter, it has nothing wrong with it other than the clip, and you can, if you do land the mini crits, chances are you are going to kill them and you are going to be able to run off and reload. If you do miss your shots, that's kind of a negative. That's why the scattergun is probably the best one to go to. So with everything considered, all of the games I did, all of the stats and stuff, this is how I tier them. You might not agree with them, but I do encourage you to give them a try. Maybe shy away from your comfort zone, because you might surprise yourself. So that does it for scatterguns. So moving on to the secondary slot. It's a bit weird because they're all like situational items other than the guillotine and the default pistol. So if I was to tier them, I'd say the pistol is the normal one to go with because you can do some really good damage on stuff. And you can see that I do get a few kills with it. It's not completely useless, but if you do like something like Mag Milk, which can help things and stuff. I guess what I'm trying to say is that it gives more of a difference like to negative and gain than the scatterguns do, which can completely make it a different kind of weapon. So it is situational, so if you like one weapon over the other, by all means take it. If your team has an engineer or something, if their team has an engineer, go for like Bonk Tom Punch or something. I don't know, it's a bit weird, but you know, the default pistol can always do you justice, and it's not a useless weapon, so keep that in mind. Even like I said earlier, with the Babyface Blaster and the Criticola, you can have secondary weapons that make up for the primary weapon's faults. So if you have a gun with lower clip like the backscatter, you can always finish them off with a pistol, finish them off with a cleaver, however you do it. But yeah, that's always an option. So finally moving on to bats, and I'm gonna just go ahead and say use a Sandman or the Bossman Basher. All of the other ones are complete garbage. Other than the Fan of War, which may come in use in certain circumstances, you're going to want to stick with the Sandman or the Boston Basher. Boston Basher, obviously, so you can get the Medic's Uber charge up if you're playing Sixes or Highlander or something like that. It's always important to have that upper hand in the Uber charge game. Obviously, there's going to be like soldiers and demos that are damaging themselves, so that might not be the best, but Sandman for 10 health, it's not a huge sacrifice to have a stun that you can use and basically get a free kill for your team or for yourself in a clutch scenario. So with everything considered and rolled into one big formula, here's what I've come up with to compensate for lacks or bonuses of a certain loadout. So feel free to use them. I just made it up on the spot. They could change at any time, they could be nerfed, they could be buffed at any time. But at this moment on time, I believe that these are your best chances, and if you are going to use a certain weapon, you may as well just stick the other ones on for the grant it gives and for the bonuses it gives and the negatives that it gets rid of. But yeah, we establishing metas, boys! So hopefully this helped you out if you're planning to pick another weapon, or if you're planning to stick with the scattergun for your eternity. Maybe try something different. Again, it might surprise you. Use one of these loadouts. Maybe it might be fun. Maybe it might be beneficial. Maybe make you a god amongst men and destroy everyone in a pub. But that's all for you to decide, and that's all for your playstyle to endeavour in. So yes, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.